Hello, everyone, and welcome to this FastCast on this Tuesday, August 22nd. Here's a look at just some of the day's top stories. Good news for remote communities in Alaska, a way to better connect online. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is awarding nearly $100 million to connect Alaskans to affordable high-speed internet. It's part of the USDA's Reconnect program. Senior advisor to the president and White House Infrastructure Coordinator Mitch Landrieu joined Representative Mary Peltola at the Alaska Native Heritage Center this morning to highlight that announcement. It's part of the nationwide rollout of $667 million in loans and grants by the Biden administration to connect thousands of rural residents across the country. In Juneau, some encouraging news for those affected by the massive flooding in Juneau. The United Way of Southeast Alaska has set up online resources to get help and also for those who want to give help. A glacial dam outburst condemned multiple homes and pulled several houses into the Mendenhall River. There is now an online form to identify disaster relief needs, as well as what's needed with donations and volunteer labor. Information will be gathered and used by Alaska voluntary organizations active in disasters. That's a volunteer coalition of organizations that will match available donations and volunteers with those in need. There's a link to where people can request assistance and offer help at alaskasnewssource.com. And if you'd like to pitch in and help the island of Maui in its recovery, here is one way to help. You can join Gray Television and Alaska's News Source and give hope for Hawaii. You can text Fire Relief to 51555 to donate to the Salvation Army, or use that QR code on your screen to make a donation online. For those impacted, every little bit helps. You can also find donation information on alaskasnewssource.com. And GOP presidential candidate, former HUD Secretary and retired neurosurgeon Dr. Ben Carson is in Alaska addressing Alaska's youth. And while his visit does not come without controversy, students and families turned out at the Mountain View Rec Center, Community Center yesterday evening to hear his message.
I begin to realize that the person who has the most to do with what happens to you in life is you. It's not somebody else. And once I made that determination, I just stopped listening to all the negative people. There were so many people always saying, you're a victim, you can't do that, the system is stacked against you. And I started thinking more about what you can do, not what you can't do.
Carson talked about coming from a disadvantaged background and a point in time when he was an elementary student and didn't believe in himself. The only person, he said, who believed in him was his mom, who pushed him to read books at an early age, even though she couldn't read herself. Carson says within a year, he went from being at the bottom to the top of his class. He continued on to college and then to medical school, eventually becoming a renowned neurosurgeon, a presidential candidate, and the former U.S. Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. Well, thanks for joining us for that FastCast. And a reminder, you can catch all of the day's news, weather, and sports throughout the day on alaskasnewssource.com and on these streaming platforms. Take a look right here. You can hook up with us right there throughout the day. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you have a great day.